Well, it definitely didn't go as planned. We just went up. There's a little bit of a dip there. We had a low in the morning earlier than expected, although you could say that this dip right here at 1040 could have been it as well. Yeah, lows really earlier than expected. In any case, that low at 1030 in here would have been opportunity, like Ace of Cups opportunity, open up a long position, which you could have closed here for a short trade, like a quick trade, I should say, better terminology. Or you could have held it. It looks like you could have held it here until 2 p.m. Not really 3 p.m. 3 o'clock ish. Would be the trade opportunity there. There was a like another quick day trade opportunity here, but at this point, I think probably what we're going to see is to the downside. We might have another little crest like right at the or peak right at the close, but this is opportunity at the close off of an important price level, which we're going to notate here. All right, Hermes, go over here, buddy. Hey, proof. We did open lower as expected, however, so that's good. It just that low happened a little sooner than expected. I think we need to be very careful here, guys, because this unicursal was they were speaking of unicursal in the sneak preview. We've got unicursal midday. It looks like probably I'm going to mark this off as a unicursal price level, and it looks like we continue to go higher. When you see a case like that where the unicursal hexagram comes into play, but we continue to go higher anyways, what it's usually indicating there is it could be first off, it could be part of that like 1% fractal permutation, but more likely what it's indicating is that when we do have the next like significant decline, like multi-day decline, we should see ourselves go through that price level. Hey, comrade. I don't know why this chart looks so weird. I need to get rid of that chart. That chart was bothering me. Weird. It's like the secondary chart for E-Trade doesn't have the same clarity, visual clarity. Man, that's tricky because we really went up a lot higher than I expected. I mean, we did expect a high here at the end of the day, either a crest or a high. I was expecting more, I have to say, more of a crest than a high, but it looks like it ends up being a high. Although, off of this, right, we're going to the downside here, right? Right around the close, we should have opportunity there to open up. See, very tricky. I think this decline probably continues into tomorrow, and the opportunity isn't at the close to open up the long position. The opportunity around the close is to open up a short position. Um, Well, so we're going to visit a support level that we met recently before, based on the Hermit card, which is like revisiting a support level that we recently met. We might we might end up back around like the 438 price level tomorrow. Just I say that because I didn't expect us to go this high today. This is, I mean, on the 1 month, this actually works out pretty well. Fast sudden move higher, but when looking at the daily, well, I guess that ace of discs really could have. Something else to be aware of. So this price level here in the start of the day, a mean level for a short and a long position. So it looks like probably that long position could have paid off today, and that could indicate that tomorrow we see like the short position pay off. But overall, guys, remember we don't want to get stuck in short positions here. The overall trend direction is very strongly bullish, and we've got a high coming up next week. I wouldn't want to get stuck in a short position. Um, so the safer play is always going to be to just go with the trades that are in the same direction as the overarching trend. Will QQQ start correcting soon? Hey, Carolyn. Hey, AV. Yeah, I got a Claire Kinetic yes for that, so that's pretty strong indication. Um, but there should be a fast sudden move higher out of a decline there as well. I think there's a shot we should see around. Man, wouldn't it be nice to get that gap filled though? If we were to have a really big drop overnight, I'd say that this is probably going to end up being a bullish day, but that would only be if there's a sharp drop overnight. There's like this opportunity here. It looks like midday to open up a quick long position and close that long position before a sharp drop. But it's a pretty tricky one. You have to be very nimble here. Appreciate that that rule of karma payment. I saw that come through, Conrad. Much appreciation, my friend. Hey, Mirdula. Okay, so can we see 10% down from here this year in QQQ? So AV, let's be a little clearer. Are you asking, are we going to see a price level that's 10% lower than where we are now? I got a yes for that, Clear Kinetic. Or are you asking, will we see a 10% drop move this year? Because we could go higher and then see a 10% move down. It looks like a 10%, we see a 10% price level or lower price level than we have now. We see that this year, but it's not all in one move to the downside, looks like. Hey, AU. Do I still see a big move in BTC tomorrow? So there's that double low, but we ended up going lower. Yikes, yikes, yikes. So we ended up going lower here. Those were double lows, but not lowest lows. And so then here we have the unicursal drop. We nailed that. Unicursal drop there on the 14th. That's what you call that's what a unicursal drop looks like, right? This is on the scale of a 1 month. On the scale of a 1 month, that's what a unicursal drop looks like. So we see sideways fluidity. Yeah, it looks like probably a pretty big move higher, reaching for distant resistance. So probably at least back. By distant resistance, it means not the nearest resistance. So it'll always be at least two resistances away. So like it won't be this one, but it could be like here, 2572-ish, 2575-ish, somewhere around there. 2577-ish. Or it could be up here, 2641, but it probably comes back to roughly where it dipped from. Pretty big move higher in the morning on the 17th as well. Another pretty big move higher on the 20th. My concern is that it's not that this is now created like a discrepancy in the reading where we had here as the lowest low. we've now seen a lower price level here at the unicursal. So that does mean like things could be slightly different, especially because this is a sideways fluctuating kind of overall theme. We might see a lowest low here. It's possible. But I think probably I think probably this is probably mm, I don't know. I still see it go higher. There, it's possible that we go from a high here on the 23rd, and then we have this Ace of Swords, which is a lot of price change to the downside there, and takes us into like a lowest low here on the 26th. And as of right now, this little piece of the ruin could have actually indicated a highest high, or close to a highest high. It's possible, which would make that a lowest low. So we'll have to see how things transpire into this high. When we get to like the 23rd, 24th, I have a much better idea if this is going to end up being a lowest low, or if that's just like a false call or whatnot. Well, Conrad, small or not, just I just want to stress the importance. It's not how much the payment of the rule of karma is; it's the act of following through on it. That's the important point because we live in a state of now. What we do now echoes through eternity. If we do it now, we're more likely to do it again later, especially if we're on default at the time. It's like we continue to do, we create a pattern or a fractal. So if we follow the rule of karma now, we're following the rule of karma in the future. And we're following it in different, like, time, what do you want to call it? Different realities. And the whole point is to follow through on that, creating the right mentality for manifesting more wealth. So it's really about following through on the rule more so than the amount. The amount's awesome. Big amounts are cool. Little amounts are just as important. So if you're holding an SPY put right now, it would be safest to get out at the first thing in the morning tomorrow and then do calls starting next week. Looks like a lot upside. I'm really surprised. I mean, we did go lower, so we did have the trough here that was expected. But I'm really surprised we went so high based on that. I would have expected, like, if we were going to make this kind of a move higher, we would have done it from an even bigger gap down. But what are you going to do? Um, I would say probably, yeah, because there's opportunity at the end of the day today to open up a short position, which makes me feel pretty comfortable um, about holding it until tomorrow. But I would probably get out first thing in the morning, yes. You could also get into, I mean, it's a quick trade. It's almost like a scalp, but you could get into a long position here, probably around 1145 in the midst of a decline that precedes a big move higher. And you'd want to get out when we have like this rally along a diagonal trend line that ends with a fast sudden move higher and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line. And that breakdown through the diagonal trend line will take us into a pretty significant drop here in the 2 to 3 o'clock hour. But if you can time that move out of it, this could be a good trade, a good bullish trade here. Do you reckon it's a good time to buy and hold Bitcoin, or will continue to get hammered? Oh, that's the S&P, sorry. Yikes. This is looking more and more like a lowest low over here on the 26, guys. This is why watching these lives is so important, guys, because when I'm wrong, often I'll figure out that I'm wrong before it's not like before it becomes like significantly important to know that I was wrong. Like, you know, so if you follow along with the lives, then you get updated in real time. But it's very sidewaysy here on the 1 month. It's very sidewaysy. We could have the high and low within close time proximity to each other here. I think we probably get hammered a bit more, but maybe not before we have this move higher into the 23rd, 24th. There's nothing like indicating that I should place a trade. The trade is really here. There's a Prince of Cups trade here in the midst of a decline on a one-day chart here on the 17th. Decline that increases with the momentum moving forward in time, which will take place after a failed attempt to break through key resistance on a 1 month kind of scale, followed by decline through key support. So like in the midst of that decline through key support on a 1 day scale, that decline should increase with momentum, and I would get into a long position there. It's sidewaysy there, but then when I look at June on the 1 year, this whole cluster is pretty. It's pretty bearish. The only thing is that this Princess of Cups indicates that in the midst of this decline in June, there's opportunity. I think you could probably get into it. It's not going to be like straight up from here in the rest of June. It's going to be kind of like sidewaysy chop, but this pairs well. This decline in June pairs well with this rally to a high for the month of July, which is an exit out of a long position, an entry in a decline in a long position, and an exit at the high in July. So you could probably get into a long position here, yeah. Armies, no barking. Can I determine around Around what time the big bounce will happen for Bitcoin tomorrow? There's not really anything indicating time of day for that, unfortunately, Proof. I don't always get the information. Hermes, will you stop barking? Come on, little guy. Come on. You little barker. Let me see real quick. It looks like Proof. It looks like there's a pretty notable move higher midday for Bitcoin tomorrow, starting around noontime. Off of it, there'll be some sideways rotation on a support level around 11 to like 10 to 11 ish, and then that precedes a notable move higher into like the early afternoon. You're welcome, AU. You're welcome, Conrad. LEN. Do I think bullish or bearish tomorrow? LEN. Notably bullish tomorrow, but that bullish behavior will offer an opportunity to open up a short position or exit a long position. So either it starts out bullish tomorrow and ends bearish, or tomorrow is all bullish, marking opportunity for like preceding the next day, which would be bearish. IWM, bullish or bearish the remainder of June? It's kind of like flat sideways. Is my volume not working, guys? Proof. I think the high for SPY is actually probably going to be on the 22nd. My sense is probably on the 22nd. There is possibility that we see a higher high at the end of the month around the 30th, but there's strong inclination that the 22nd is going to be the highest high. Awesome, Robert. Love to hear how it turns out. Will Tesla drop below 180 this year? What a dive that would be. There is a pretty notable decline off of the high in August. Pretty notable decline from a high to a low. So if we were going to hit that price level, it would probably be there. Let's see what I get for it. Clear Kinetics. Wow, I got a yes for that. I'm curious, why did you pick 180 as a price level? Appreciate it, Proof. Oh, my bad, guys. Hermes was really going at it. um, will the SEC put Tether out of business? Huh. I got kind of a mixed answer for that. It looks like they do some serious damage to Tether, but somehow Tether lasts, and it might be in a different way. It's very like mixed kind of answer for me there. So sorry I couldn't be more clear for you, Carolyn. What about September 22nd and 23rd, Robert? Oh, interesting, AV. Let me see. My sense is that this is going to remain the lowest low for the year 2023. Sometimes that'll happen like when I do a reading and it's like the lowest low is so early in the year, it's like almost irrelevant for the remainder of the reading. It'll give me information about like the next lowest low as what, from the standpoint of it being important for our informational purposes. And that's what happened here. So when we get to this lowest low here in September-ish, it's probably going to be around these 150 mark. Either that or it's just going to be a really notable trough or low that stands out on a 1 year there. but there is going to be a sharp drop there out of the high of August into a low in September. Hey, Pear Halls, welcome. Yeah, so it's looking like a gap down tomorrow, Pear. Where am I? Yeah, so gap down tomorrow. What about CBDC in Asia, Robert? You're welcome, AV. You're welcome, Pear. All right, guys, it's about that time. Any last questions you guys have, I'll take them. No worries, Pear. You and me both. You're welcome, Proof. Well, we do have a lowest low. See, and that's another thing, guys, to point out. We have a lowest low correlation here in September for the S&P 500 too. So that's kind of like a cross reading, cross ticker. I'd call that a cross ticker cross reading congruency. With that of Tesla, so that gives it extra weight that we probably see a really notable low here in September. All right, my friends, thanks so much for the warm wishes. As always, make sure to follow that rule of karma. If you're new to the channel, you find the rule of karma links here on our resources tab of the website Tarot for Traders, where we're asking that you take 5% of the profits you make from the information on this channel and you donate it forward to one of these charities, guaranteeing abundance mind in your own mind. And 5% of the profits should be donated back to the channel, guaranteeing gratitude mindset in your own mind. Those two mentalities are necessary when creating manifestations properly. Make sure that you spend that money out of love, that 90% left over. As long as you do that, your conscience remains clear, and that allows you to manifest freely that which you wish to manifest. So follow that rule of karma, my friends, and the universe is going to send it back to you tenfold through this channel. See you guys.